Hello and welcome to episode 124 of the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as Sock Bunny, and today is Saturday, March 8th, 2014. I am recording in sunny Florida, but I am not at home. Obviously, I am in a very inexpensive motel in Kissimmee, Florida, which is just south of Orlando, and I'm just minutes away from Disney World, where my daughter is with her boyfriend. And the three of us came over on Friday and got a couple of hotel rooms, and I am the chaperone for the trip. And they are having 3 days at the various Disney parks, and I am just hanging out and knitting and shopping and having a grand old time. So I hope you enjoy this fabulous view behind me. I am in my room. I was gonna record downstairs, but there are a whole bunch of people down there. Actually, there are people swimming in the pool. I had to make you extremely jealous, especially if you live in the northern United States, because it is currently 70 degrees. You can see it is going to get warmer later this week. Like on Tuesday, the high will be 82. I know, don't you hate me now? I'm so mean. So if you hear any talking or everything, it's the people that are out by the pool. So I should go out there. Maybe I wouldn't be so white. Anyway, so we are here for the weekend. We'll be heading back home tomorrow. And then I have very good news. On Monday, I am starting a new job. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that Joe got laid off and that he was looking for a job and that I was going to go ahead and look for a job too. So he actually found a job and he started not last week, I think the end of the week before. And then I start my new job on Monday. So this is going to be different for me. If you're a new viewer, I've been working from home for like the last 5 or 6 years. So I'll be having to commute again, which I am not used to, and I'm very spoiled, but that's okay. It's all right. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm very happy about the new job, and I will tell you more about it as the weeks pass. So for the next few weeks, I'm not going to be doing any dyeing because I'll be getting used to working a full-time job again and having a commute. So I have a feeling I'll be a little bit tired to start off with, but that's okay. I'll get used to it. So. What did we want to say? Oh, also, I wanted to say that I am still going to be on iTunes. I know I had mentioned a few weeks ago that I was not going to be able to be on iTunes, but I did find a cheaper alternative, and it's called Podcaster Garden or Podcast Garden. It's podcastgarden.com. It's only $30 a year to host your podcast. So at least for now, everything should be seamless for you. Supposedly Blip changed my feed and everything, and so if you're downloading either like with Downcast or Pocket Cast or iTunes, or whatever podcast viewer thingy you're using, everything should still be the same on your end, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. If for some reason you can't find it through iTunes, in the Ravelry group, I do have the RSS feed, or you could just send me a message and I'll tell you what it is, and you can manually add it to your podcast. Some guy just did a belly flop in pool. So anyway, I am still on Blip, and like I said, it should be seamless for you. I've been struggling with how to keep track of podcasts that are not going to be on iTunes anymore. And I had tried an app and a website called feedly.com, Feedly.com. And I didn't really like the app very much. And I did not exactly find the website to be user friendly either. So I did find another one I like a lot better. It's called Bloglovin, Bloglovin.com. And that's how I'm keeping track of my, you can keep track of blogs, but I'm also just basically keeping track of the podcasters who have blogs. And also there's an app. I'm using the Android version and I like it. So, and I'm sure they have an iTunes version also. So that's called Bloglovin. Bloglovin is the app, and bloglovin.com is the website. Of course, you can always, if you ever are missing me and can't figure out where I am, you can always go to the Ravelry group. I have the links for everything there, every place you can possibly find me. I am still uploading to Blip for as long as they're letting me, and also YouTube. So you can find me all over the place. And like I usually say at the beginning of the podcast, you can find me as Sock Bunny pretty much everywhere. Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, Twitter, and also YouTube. Um, in episode 123, the last episode, I showed some beautiful fiber from Jen at Daisy Knits website. I'm sorry, Daisy Knits Etsy shop. And so don't forget to go to the Ravelry group and enter to win. And I will draw the winner the first episode I recorded in April. And I'm hoping now that my life is semi getting back to normal that I will be able to go back to doing weekly episodes. Because I know the last few episodes have been every other week. But hopefully now I'll be back to every week, even if it's a shorter episode. And I won't have as much knitting because I'm actually going to be working full time instead of part time. I wanted to say a big thank you for all the birthday wishes that you guys sent me. Early in February was my birthday, and also Valentine's wishes. Thank you very much. I did receive quite a few birthday gifts. I did not bring them with me this weekend, and frankly, I would be too embarrassed to show you how much I got. But, I mean, embarrassed in a good way. Very humbling that so many of you love me so much and wanted to send me birthday gifts and give me birthday gifts. So thank you to everybody. If you sent me something and I didn't thank you, let me know because it might have gotten lost in the mail or somewhere in my house. So let me know if I haven't thanked you. But thank you, everybody. I was gifted scrap yarn for my sock yarn blanket. Various other different things, a few patterns. So thank you very, very, very much. Just because I'm not showing it here doesn't mean that I am not eternally grateful for everything that you guys do. And the podcaster viewer love is out there. So, okay, enough being goofy. This is going to be a relatively short episode. I'm not going to do all my regular segments again mainly because I'm away from home. Next episode should be back to normal. And if you're a new viewer, please do come back. This is not my normal, usual, well, the wackiness is, but it's not my usual format. So I am going to talk about my finished objects and works in progress and fitness, and that's going to be it. So it is going to be a relatively short one. I'm actually recording on Saturday. I won't be uploading this until tomorrow, Monday, when I get back to Tampa. So let's see. And by the way, I am sitting on a towel because I'm not going to sit on a motel room floor. So I didn't want to gross you out by you thinking I was sitting on the floor. I am on a towel. Don't worry. Okay. So first finished object. As you might know, if you've been watching, I have been obsessed with dishcloths lately, and I did start and finish a dish towel. I haven't woven in the ends yet, but I wanted to see if I liked using dish towels as much as I like using the dishcloth. So I made it. I didn't make it as wide as a normal dish towel, but I don't think you really need it. And plus, they do stretch. So since the last time you saw it, I did add a few rows. And I will give you feedback. I'm gonna, I'll probably wait a month or two of using it and then give you feedback on how I like it, if I like it. And if I do like it, you'll see me making more. So there you go. So that's one finished object. Very simple, basically just knit, 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 knit. Very good and brainless. I have been playing a lot of Sims lately in my downtime. I'm way behind on podcasts because of it. And I've been playing a lot of Sims and knitting plain garter stitch because I get pretty obsessed with The Sims. I go through stages where I'll play it and then I won't play it for a while, but right now I'm in an obsessive stage. So it's obsessed with dishcloths and Sims. I don't know. That's just weird. But anyway, I never said I wasn't, right? Okay. So that is number one finished object. I did cast on a dishcloth, and I owe this dishcloth to Polly Knits, formerly of the Polly Knits podcast. This is the Daryl Waltrip dishcloth. It is my second favorite dishcloth, as opposed to just a garter one. This is my favorite, and it's a free pattern online. You can, if you just go on Ravelry and look up Daryl Waltrip or DW cloth, and basically it's on the rows where you have the slip stitches. It's just knit 2, slip 2, but they're staggered. It's a very simple, very easy to memorize pattern, really good for beginners. If you're a beginner knitter, I would highly recommend this cloth. And it's a dishcloth, so if you mess up, who cares? And this is, I believe, peaches and cream. I'm pretty sure. This particular yarn actually smells sort of like eucalyptus. I can't remember if it's peaches and cream or sugar and cream, but I got it at Joann's, and it smells sort of like eucalyptus as you're knitting it. So, and you know I love the green. So that is what's the dishcloth of the day on the needles. I did bring more dishcloth yarn with me here to Kissimmee, so maybe tonight I might be knitting more dishcloths if I finish that one. Another thing that I'm going to count as a finished object, this will be the last time you see it, is I did finish my February socks. If you are a new viewer, I am doing a personal mystery sock club for myself. I took 12 balls of sock yarn and put them in brown bags, and every month I draw a random bag and knit socks from it. So this is my February. This is Miss Babs in the SAF 2012 colorway. It's green with red and black and sort of reminds me of a zombie colorway. And the second sock, all I have to do is Kitchener the toe. I've had these done for over a week and I haven't Kitchenered the toe. So I'm going to do that as soon as I get done podcasting. I've already pulled out my little needle and I'm ready to go. So both socks are done. Just need to weave in the ends and Kitchener. So you won't see these again. That's a finished object. Yay! Next we have my March socks, and I have these in my bag from Christine. And it is, I love this bag because it has a window in it. If you will remember, back in October, I went on a trip to New England, and when I was in Massachusetts, I lost my knitting bag, and it had a pair of socks that I had started with the my very own Greyhounds on the Beach colorway. And I was upset about losing the bag, but I could re-dye the yarn for myself. So I did re-dye the yarn. This is the yarn I drew for March out of the brown bag. And thanks to my friend Dale, also known as Girl Dale, she is obsessed with doing socks two at a time. I tried it a couple of times and I would get like 2 rows in and get frustrated and stop. So she's encouraged me to keep going. So I am working on 2 socks at the same time. And the cast on, well, first of all, I was trying to use 2 circulars for the cast on instead of just 1 magic loop, and it really fried my brain. So once I got the longer, this is a 40-inch circular. Once I did it that way, it made a lot more sense in my brain because I'm so used to doing it. And really, honestly, once you get started, it's exactly the same as knitting 1 sock at a time, but you're just doing 2. The only downside is that the yarn keeps getting tangled. I do have it in 2 separate balls, and so I just keep basically holding it up and detangling it every few rows. I know you could like knit this and then flip it this way and then flip it this way. My brain can't handle that. So when I'm knitting, I'm usually doing at least 1 other thing, sometimes 2 other things. So I can't handle trying to concentrate on which way to flip the knitting. I always flip it clockwise. So here you go, Greyhounds on the Beach. It's definitely going to have some pooling, but I love pooling, so I'm totally fine with that. There you go. And the needle I am using is a Knitter's Pride. They're metal ones. What are they called? I don't remember. Anyway, Nova. I think that's it. And 1 more project on the needles. This is something I just started. Now, if you have been watching a while, some little kid is screaming. If you've been watching a while, you know that my stuffed bunny, John John, who is the mascot of this podcast and my life, basically, he likes to buy me gifts occasionally. And he had already ordered something to give me as an Easter present. Isn't he sweet? But since I got a job, he gave it to me as a congratulations for getting a job, go mommy, present. So he got me, ta-da, a Batman knitting bag. And this is by Jessa Lou, stitched by Jessa Lou. And she had given all of the retreat attendees a free shipping, so I had to use it. And let's see if you can read that. Stitched by Jessa Lou. Now, if you also remember, when I was little, I was married to Batman. Batman's actually my first husband. So I was very excited to get this bag. And the inside is just as awesome. The inside has the zap, pow, wham, oof, Zoom stuff that you see. Is it backwards for you guys? Oh no, it's all right. Just there you go. I think that's how I learned how to read, by having my mom read those things. In the original Batman show, when somebody would punch somebody, it would say oof or zoom or wow or whatever. So I love the inside too. So inside this is what's going to be my purse knitting for a while, and you probably won't see it very often because it's not very exciting. I cast on another sock head hat. This yarn is Poems sock yarn. Is not showing up to true color at all there. It's a gradient. It has long color repeats. It's more of a greenish teal than what you're seeing there. So it's going to be a sock head hat, and you can see I purchased a size 3 16-inch circular. And now I'm not a fan of 16-inch circulars because they have a shorter needle. You can see look how short these needles are compared to a regular, let me show you, like a regular sock needle. That's pretty significant difference. And it really affects how I knit. Because evidently when I knit, I rest the needle on my pinky finger here. And since I'm doing this on such a short needle, there's not anything for my pinky to rest on. So it sort of bugs me a little bit. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm going to give it a few inches to get used to it. If I still can't get used to it, then I will switch to I have two 24-inch circulars that I use for instead of magic looping. I normally do the sock head hats with the two circulars. Wow, that took. So anyway, so you can see very, very short and sort of annoying, but that's all right. So that is Poems Sock Yarn by Wisdom Yarns. It almost, I would not use this for socks personally. It is a wool nylon blend, but it feels like a single instead of applied yarn. It feels like just a single. It also sort of feels like it has mohair in it, even though it doesn't. But if you've ever felt yarn that has mohair in it, that's the feeling that this has. It's soft while you're knitting it, but yet sort of scratchy after it's knit. It's sort of hard to explain. So I would not personally use this for socks, but for a hat, it's going to be totally fine. And this will probably be for me unless I don't like it, and then I'll give it to charity, which is what I always end up doing. So like I said, this is going to live in my purse for a while, so you probably won't see it very often. I'll show it, maybe when I get to the halfway point or something. And it's a gradient yarn, so I think it's going to be pretty, and I think it'll go with a lot of things. It's blues and greens, so I don't wear a hat very often. Most of the time when I wear a hat, it's when I'm working out and it's outside and I've gone for a walk. So that is it for the knitting. Let's talk about, let me make sure I didn't skip anything. Yes, I think we're good. Let's talk about fitness. My fitness has really not been doing so great lately. I've just had a lot going on. Hard to stay motivated. So I really need to get back into focusing. I'm going to give myself a few days when I first start the job of not working out, but then I will, my hours are going to be 8:30 to 5:30. So most likely what I'm going to do is start working out in the mornings before work, but we'll have to see. I'm not a morning person, but I am very motivated to keep working out. So that's probably what's going to happen. So if you are a new viewer, we do have a fitness along going every month in the Sock Bunny group. Any day that you work out at least 30 consecutive minutes. It can be walking, riding a bike, swimming, doing a workout video, whatever your workout is. If it's at least 30 consecutive minutes, you can go each day and post one day. You don't have to do it every day. You could post, like, go back and post the last week's work, but post each one in a separate item in the group. No, a separate post in the thread. That way you have more chances to win. And I will be drawing winners. I'm not going to let people choose yarn that I've dyed, because normally what I do is I will hand dye yarn for you, but I have a lot going on right now, so I'm going to say for at least the next few months that the winners are I'm going to give you a Ravelry pattern up to $10. So any pattern that you want on Ravelry up to $10, as long as it's a giftable pattern on Ravelry, I will gift that to you. And in fact, I'm going to change my notes right now on the computer so that I know that's what I said. Um, and that's just going to work out better for me when things settle down and get back to normal. I'll start dyeing again, and then we'll start. You could win yarn again, but for now, this is going to have to do. So I had never announced who the January winner was, and the January winner, I drew the winner. I just forgot to say who it was. It was number 323, who was Michelle S. 1956, and she had 29 posts in the January thread. So you go. And so, Michelle, let me know any pattern, giftable pattern on Ravelry you want, up to $10. Let me know what it is, and I will gift that to you. And I will draw the February winner and announce it on the next episode when I'm at home and I have my normal internet access and all that kind of stuff. That is it. Wow, only 20 minutes. I know it's a short one. I really, really apologize for that. But, I'm away from home. There's probably a lot of background noise that you're hearing, and it's probably annoying. So, but I didn't want to skip any more weeks. I want to get back to doing my weekly show. So, as usual, I would like to say don't forget to post your workouts in the workout thread. Don't forget to post any prayer requests you have in the prayer request thread. And don't forget, you can ask Sock Bunny or John John any question that you want in the Ask Sock Bunny or John John thread. And that is it. I hope you have a great week. Keep on crafting. Try not to be too jealous that I'm in sunny Florida. Bye.